Okay, welcome back. Here we are, the big man himself, to talk about Office of the Year. So I
And to
suppose
be able to choose an Office of the Year.
I know
It's a long way from
where we
a
were.
card table, 2 chairs, unfinished office,
Yeah,
and 23 managements. Here we are with a fantastic team. And you've got to decide on an Office of the Year.
that's exactly right. Which is it's pretty good because you're right. We never thought we would have Office of the Year. There has been times we thought we might have no office. So the fact that we're able to choose an Office of the Year, I think, is pretty amazing. Yeah. It's already been chuffed.
Well,
How about
let's hear
that? Let's hear about it. So obviously, it's like a comedy show. So obviously, being Office of the Year, you'd think there have been some real standout performances across the board. And I wonder where you'd think it might be quite easy to choose. But when I started looking at it, and I started looking at all the objective measures and getting the spreadsheet going, there is also a very big subjective element that goes into it because you have to look at the spirit of the office, the culture, how they're going, how they help each other, how they work together as a team, what their sort of the vibe is, lots of stuff, and that's very difficult to it's very difficult to measure. So obviously there's been some, obviously there's things like budgets to actuals, performances, numbers of managements, number of leases, sales, etc., etc. Team turnover, like who comes, who goes. I even looked at the Google reviews. So there is a lot of competition of Penrith.
Google review?
The Google reviews.
Oh.
We didn't even know what Google was, Dad, in the beginning.
No, we didn't.
No. So, but Google, yeah, even that. Like Penrith has, they are obsessed with the Google reviews, and the Wentworth Point people, you need to know that they call you Wenny Point. So all they want to do is beat Wenny Point, and I think so. Anyway, Wentworth Point are onto that now, so I think they'll give them a run for their money. One of the big things I also looked at is because this year's been difficult, it's important to look at, business is about challenge. It doesn't always go smoothly,
No.
does it?
No.
Never. In fact, I think there's always been an issue somewhere or some challenge.
But
But
you just got
Got to
to
keep going. And so part of it too is looking at what hardship did a particular office go through and what did they do to recover. So, there has been some standouts there. I think that, it's a funny thing to say, but I think Green Square is sitting in a very strong position now based on what happened during the year. Pyrmont had the same moment where, things were looking a little bit dire there from a team point of view, but they've actually come back really strong in the second half of the year, and I think are actually well positioned to build on that for next year. So, bad things happening or adversity is not necessarily a bad thing, and you can also, because you can grow and build from it, and that's something very much that I've taken into account when I've looked at Office of the Year. One of the other things to do I looked at is also who had definitive strategies, who said this is what we're going to do to grow, and we're able to take a strategy and execute on that strategy. And people think, it's one thing to make the plan, as we know, it's another thing to actually execute that plan because
stick to it.
and stick to it. Because generally, isn't it, like you can have all the good intentions in the world, but the pressures of business and life can get in the way, and particularly this year where we've had whole COVID. So I know that everybody will be sitting there on the edge of their seats. So I suppose I better get on an announcement, and maybe Dad, I'll ask you to announce who this year is Office of the Year.
Well, and it gives me great pleasure. In that office is Penrith.
Penrith! Woo! Well done to Penrith. I'll give everyone a little tip on the. I have to tell them this story. Penrith have won, and there's a bunch of reasons for that. Phenomenal growth. I mean, David Lippman's done amazingly out there. They've grown the team, and a very, very solid team. I was out there during the week for the Christmas party, and I have to tell you, a team that gets drunk together stays together. There's definitely an element of that. But I think culturally, they've got a maturity about them that I think is going to build for next year, and how they all support each other. It's actually wonderful. A really, really, really wonderful thing. They did say to me, they wanted to know why they wouldn't win. So, I mean, that's taking things to a whole nother level. and I just made up some stuff because I knew that they were standing at that point in good stead. So well done, Penrith. Very exciting out there in the West. It's all happening out there, and next year we'll be seeing, fantastic results.
And Michelle, I will get out there. COVID has kept us away, but I would really like to see such a fantastic office and what you've all achieved out there this year.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
true.
fact that you all work together.
Yeah,
That's
very
the
much,
important thing.
very
There's
much.
many estate agencies, the officers are too busy fighting one another to get the results.
We know that.
Well done to you.
Well done. Okay, there you go. Mark's coming on a visit. That's your prize. Okay, see you later.
That's right.
Bye-bye, everybody.